Here I am at Wat Jet Yacht in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and there you are thinking, let's live in Thailand. Last week, I gave you an overview of why people move to Thailand, who should move to Thailand, and who shouldn't. Now it's time to get down to business. If you're planning to stay in Thailand longer than 30 to 45 days, you're going to need a visa. Today, I'll start by showing you how Thailand immigration is organized. I'll review the types of visas available to you and tell you about other immigration-related activities. And along the way, I'll make recommendations of what type of visa you should apply for based on why you are coming to live in Thailand. After you watch this video, you'll know what to expect when you apply for your visa. Don't forget to watch this video to the end to see what Nieow, the Thai genie in a jar, has in store for us today. Let's live in Thailand! First, let's meet the Immigration Bureau of the Royal Thai Police. This is the only visa issuing authority in Thailand. Immigration is divided into 5 regions with 88 offices across the country. Not all offices process every need, and, this is important, each immigration region can and does interpret visa requirements in its own way. The main office is Division 1 headquarters in Bangkok. It has ample parking and its own stop on the monorail. These are the types of visas you can apply for at the Immigration Department. The first 4 visas on that list don't really apply to living in Thailand, though the tourist visa is useful before applying for other visas. You can only apply for a permanent resident visa after you've been living in Thailand for 3 years. Now, let's see what's left. The first visa on the list, the non-immigrant visa, comes in 8 flavors, almost as many flavors as Ben & Jerry's ice cream. The visas with the O designation are the type used for marriage and retirement. There are special visas you apply for at other government agencies. The Tourism Authority of Thailand offers a privilege visa for wealthier expats willing to pay more to stay longer, with fewer restrictions on entry and exit. You apply on their dedicated website. The BOI, or Board of Investment, offers the SMART program, which is aimed at entrepreneurs and digital nomads. The BOI also arranges a visa called LTR, a 10-year multiple entry visa with eye-watering monetary requirements. Anyway, you can't apply for those visas at the Immigration Department, and very few people qualify for them, so I'll wait to cover them in Week 12's video. Let's get to know the non-immigrant B, ED, and O visas. The non-immigrant visa, without an O, no, that's not what I meant. Thank you. The non-immigrant visa has an alphabet soup of categories, from F for official to R for religious. We are interested in the B, or business, and ED, or education flavors. If you're under 50 or not married to a Thai citizen, you're not likely to be eligible for one of the O visas. So the B visa is the visa you'll want to apply for. You become eligible for a B visa when you work in a Thai company or a Thai educational institution, work as a paid intern, do some business in Thailand, or if you have an investment in Thailand of 3 million baht or more. That investment can be a condominium. There are 3 types of B visa: the 90-day single entry type, the 1-year, and the 3-year multiple entry types. If you have the 90-day type, you can extend it to a full year after you've been in Thailand for 45 to 59 days. But here's the rub with a B visa. You cannot remain in the country any longer than 90 days at a time, even with the 1-year or 3-year type. That said, the B visa is very flexible. You can enter and leave Thailand as many times as you want. There are no 90-day reports and no re-entry permits. You'll meet those a bit later in this video. I lived in Thailand on a B visa for my first 17 years. It was easy and convenient. If you're under 50, can find any way to do some sort of business, and you plan to travel a bit, then the B visa is the visa for you. Planning to study in Thailand? You'll be eligible for an ED or education visa. The basics are simple. Get accepted for study, receive the required school documents, apply for the visa online. You may have heard stories of people coming to live in Thailand for long periods on an ED visa by jumping from language school to language school. Forget that. It's history. Don't believe agents or schools who tell you otherwise. Your first ED visa is granted for 90 days. It can be extended up to 5 times after that to a maximum of 360 days. You can even get a full 1-year extension at the discretion of the immigration officer. If you're studying at a major university or at a qualified school of any level, you'll have no trouble staying here as long as your studies take. For living in Thailand, the Non-Immigrant O visa is the real meat and potatoes, or mango and sticky rice. There are categories for all these different cases. Each of these categories has its own requirements, which probably don't apply to you. So I'll just talk about coming to be with your Thai spouse, and if you are 50 or over, coming to retire in Thailand. Do be aware though, with any visa, you are not permitted to work in Thailand, even as a volunteer. So let's look at the procedure for obtaining a marriage or retirement visa. It's essentially the same procedure for both kinds of visa. These are the steps to follow. Get into Thailand using a visa waiver or with a tourist visa. Get a 90-day Non-Immigrant O visa. Extend the 90-day Non-Immigrant O visa for 1 year. If that sounds easy, it is, except for the paperwork, of course, but after last week's video, you're ready for that. So, first step, get here. Over 60 nationalities are eligible to enter Thailand and stay 30 days without any sort of visa at all. Yes, that's the easy way, but I don't recommend it if you're coming to live here. You'll be less rushed settling in, especially if you don't have a bank account or place to stay, if you enter Thailand on a 3 or 6 month tourist visa. A tourist visa is simple to apply for online. Great! Now you're here, welcome, but get busy. The clock is ticking. You need to start the second step while there are at least 16 days remaining on your visa-free entry or tourist visa. By that time, you're going to do 2 things. You're going to get an address, and you're going to send a wad of money from overseas. When you make your application for the 90-day O visa, you'll have to have a proof of address. If you're renting a place, a copy of the rental contract and a signed copy of the owner's ID card will do. If you're staying with a friend, have them create a rental contract for you. Or maybe you've bought a condo. Proof of address is just a copy of the deed. If you're staying in a long stay accommodation or hotel, use a printed verification of your reservation and a paid receipt. Once you have proof of address, it's time for that old saying, money is the root of all visas, or something like that. The Thai government wants to know that when you live here, you have enough money for emergencies. So they want a visa guarantee. The simplest option for funding your visa guarantee is to open a bank account at a Thai bank in Thailand. Then, if you are retiring, make a deposit the equivalent of 800,000 baht from an overseas account. For a marriage visa, it's only 400,000 baht. Keep that overseas bank transfer receipt. Not more than 24 hours before you make your visa application, get a deposit verification letter from your bank and update your bank account passbook. There are other options for proving financial responsibility. You can use pension or other periodic income to reduce or eliminate the cash deposit. You'll need that income verified by your home country embassy in Thailand. The US, Australian, and UK embassies do not provide that service. If you're a citizen of some other country, check with your embassy to find out if they do provide that service and how long it might take. That's all you need to apply for your retirement visa. If you're applying based on marriage, you'll need some additional documents to prove you're married to a Thai citizen. So, in addition to the address and bank account, you need your Thai marriage certificate plus your Thai spouse's passport and ID card. When you're ready to submit your application, first go online to search to see if there are any updated documentation requirements for the office at which you plan to apply, since each office may have its own special requirements. Usually it's just more or different copies of things that you already have. Even better, make a visit to that office to request a blank application form. They usually have a required documents list to go with it. Be prepared though. Thai immigration offices can be busy. It may be difficult to get someone's attention if you're not there to make an application. Be patient. So, step 2 done. You've got your 90-day O visa. Well done. Oh, there's that darn clock ticking again. This time for the 1-year extension. You'll need to do the extension 45 to 31 days before the 90-day visa expires. And guess what? All the paperwork is the same. For the bank deposit, you do need to get a new bank letter and update your passbook. Less than 24 hours before your application, you can't use the old ones. And as before, check your local immigration office to make sure there aren't any new requirements, like extra copies or new forms. If you successfully applied for your 90-day O visa, you'll have no trouble getting your 1-year extension. What about those OA and OX visas? You apply for OA and OX visas online before you arrive in Thailand. The OA visa is a 1-year visa which you extend annually, just like an O visa. Expats no longer like this visa very much because it requires that you buy local government-approved health insurance. So what? Getting that insurance can be a problem for retirees over 70. It's expensive and it doesn't cover much. If you're 80, you can't get it at all. Some expats with OA visas choose to let their OA visas expire, briefly leave the country, and then return to apply for a new O visa. The OX visa is similar to the OA visa, but it lasts 5 years plus 1 additional 5-year extension. The OX requires a 3 million baht visa guarantee plus the same health insurance as the OA. At least you don't have to visit immigration to extend every year, and it's the only O visa that allows you to do volunteer work without a work permit. I've mentioned applying online a couple of times now. Well, good news. Almost all visas for Thailand that need to be applied for overseas are now handled through the new visa portal. Visit that site to find visa requirements for all the visas, even if you don't plan to apply online. It's a great resource worth spending time exploring. Once you have your visa, you're not done with immigration. For every visa in this video, except for the B visa, visa holders must report their address to immigration every 90 days. Making your 90-day report is pretty easy. It can be done online at a dedicated site, by walking into any immigration office, or in some regions, by mail. For your first report, no one reminds you when you need to do it, so mark your calendar. The due date for your next report is marked on the receipt you get from immigration. Staying past 90 days without filing your reports carries big fines and can even get you banned from Thailand. Doesn't matter how long your visa is valid, you must report your address every 90 days. Then there's a little something that confuses everybody when they first move to Thailand. Every time anyone enters the country, they're required to notify immigration where they are staying within 24 hours of arrival. This address report is called the TM30. This is not the same as a 90-day address report. It's required by a separate office within immigration. If you stay in a hotel, the hotel does it for you. If you don't, and you don't do your report, there is a fine which can be collected the next time you visit immigration for some other reason, like for extending your visa, getting a reentry permit, or doing your 90-day report. Fortunately, the TM30 is easy to do online via its dedicated site. Finally, there's one more procedure to follow if you don't have a B visa. When you plan to leave the country and come back, you get a re-entry permit before you go. If you don't, your visa gets canceled during exit procedures. You can get a re-entry permit at some of the international airports, but only on the day of departure. Experienced travelers get their re-entry permit well before leaving by visiting their local immigration office. That's an overview of the visa system of the Immigration Department of Thailand. Now you're familiar with the visa alphabet soup, the procedures, and the vocabulary of the system. Next week, I help you pack up and leave your home and move to Thailand, or at least to plan for it. Like and subscribe so you won't miss that video and all the videos which post weekly. My name is Yai, and before we go, let's check in with Nieow, the Thai genie in a jar. Nieow,เป็นยังไงบ้าง? Yes, we talked about visas and immigration today. How did I do? You were just over near the immigration office last night. Well, don't tell me you need a visa. Oh, that massage place. I know it. Yeah, it's very popular. You didn't like it. Why not? You didn't get what you paid for. They made you leave after your Thai massage. Well, isn't that normal? It's not what they advertised on their sign. Well, can you show me the sign? Yeah. Oh, Nieow, I don't think they meant that was included with your massage. Why don't you show our friends and maybe they can tell you what they think. In the meantime, I'll explain it to you later. I'll finish up here first. My name is Yai, and I love living in Thailand. I hope you will too. Sawadee krap. I think I need to talk to Nieow about where he's learning English.